Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic. In the last part, the focus was up in this area here where we started laying out our new city. And this city is going to be quite significant because this is the city that's going to drive our more advanced technology, which in the form of nuclear power, car manufacturer, and we'll probably even be manufacturing trains up here. So there's a lot to be built in this area, but we hopefully will be able to develop this quite well. And this is the area I want to continue on focusing on in this video. But first, I've got a few things I need to show you in the form of updates, and a big thank you for all your comments and feedback as well. And you can see here we're still working on building out the connection to the gravel store here. Well, I've also got work on a distribution office here, and of course more importantly we've got need to do some work on putting in a technical services here, because we're certainly going to need to keep this road open in the winter. So that's the first thing I want to show you. Just open up the map and we can just flip over to here. Now if you look at the top, you'll see that we are now on the 15th of May 1993, and it's quite interesting that what we've got here now is quite a lot of crops in storage. So I seem to have flipped over now to having excess crops. So what I've decided to do is build another silo here, so that what we can do is build up quite a big surplus in this area year over year. So I no longer will have to worry about producing food. And the other thing I've also done is switched over all my distribution offices now, so that they're no longer importing crops in from the customs shed here. You can see that's resulted in virtually no queue here at all now. Therefore that represents quite a big change, and hopefully this silo will be finished before these crops mature. And well, we'll sort that out now. Now the next thing I want to talk about is something that's quite interesting, because I was starting to get a little bit worried. If I show you here, if we click on these flats, you can see it says here 101 citizens are not able to enjoy culture. And it confused me a little bit, because if I show you here, the culture for the overall economy is pretty high. In fact, our population is now pushing towards 15,000. If I come into here, you'll see that even in here our culture is pretty high and still growing. And I was a little bit confused about that. And I also want to show you something else that I noticed, because I came over here because I thought, well, there's going to be a problem there be here, because I'm not selling any electronics in my store here. And if we come over to here, if I click on these buildings, you'll see that the culture in these flats is pretty high as well. And more interestingly, the residents here have got access to electronics. And at first I was trying to work out why that was happening, because this shop does not sell electronics. And then what I did is I did some sampling here. And if you can see, if I can find someone, they kind of flip through. Just pause. And what you will see is there, you've got this guy here. Christina, I'm not even going to try and pronounce her surname, who's gone off to get some electronics. And what they're actually doing is traveling all the way up down to there to buy the electronics from the shops in these areas. So it goes to show the residents will travel if given sufficient reason. Anyways, returning to the subject of culture, if I show you here, these cinemas and virtually all the culture buildings in this city, that's the bowling alley, but we're still getting the sport. But even then, there's no one actually going to the physical buildings. So what I'm suspecting is that they're all listening to the radio, because I actually put the cultural enjoyment up to 58% on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a little bit of an experiment. I'm just going to drop that down to say 17%. We're just going to let the game run. I'm going to be interested to see now is whether we get anyone suddenly. It's just going to speed up so we can run. There we are. And now they're all off to the cinema. So it goes to show that what we probably need to do is get a little bit of a balance between the cultural enjoyment on here. But then again, what you could do is go all out and just bump that up, and then you don't have to build any cultural buildings. So maybe I'm just going to up that a little bit there. And you can see we're now getting lots and lots of people rushing into this settlement here. So that's quite an interesting mechanic, and it goes to show that you can actually develop the whole economy using radio and television stations. Now if you watch the previous video, be aware in this area we finally completed the rail network on this side, and if I show you what I've done, the signals, I've now signaled this whole area up so that we can allow two-way traffic through here. And what that's actually done is it's now allowed me to have a train that can come down to here to deliver the gravel. I don't know where he is now. I mean, it's only a single small train, but so we're now getting gravel coming down here from, if any of you are not aware what I'm talking about, oh, I think that might be, is he up here? There he is. There's the gravel train coming into here, and he's going to pick up gravel from here. It's not a big train. You can see he's only shipping 300 gravel a cycle. But he's only picking up 60. I think what you should do is wait until loaded, I think, because you don't really need to unload. And he can pick up 300 gravel there just to make the return journeys here. And overall my gravel supplies are holding. Oops, why's that drop down? Borrowed stone. Obviously my crews here can't keep up to. In fact, maybe that isn't such a good idea then. I mean, this guy's got a lot of gravel here, so maybe we will just let him run free. Because I don't want him filling up the... But again, if he fills up with 300 and comes down here, once he's filled this store up, which will be probably the next cycle, that will then... No, I think he's going to interfere with my overall production. Sorry. Let me just see here. I think we're turning you off. We'll just let you keep picking up small amounts and just get running backwards and forwards, I think. So I don't want him stealing all the gravel from everyone else at the moment. Now, if I come over to here, what I've actually got is one of my construction trains is now working on the second bridge system. And then the other one is currently laying track round here into, I think it's this area here. Ah, he might have stopped because he's got onto these crossovers again. Or was he working on this one here? Now he's building in through here. And the plan is to get all this track laid, and then we want to get track laid out. There's a... Do I need a crossover here? Actually, I do need a crossover here. What we're going to do is put in quite a big crossover there. And I think if we put a crossover there and maybe crossover, cancel. Actually, I think what we'll do is we'll put the crossover here if I can get it in. Yeah, put two big crossovers there. And the reason I'm putting these crossovers in is that once this is finished, we can send the oil train out to here rather than it picking up from over there. And I know I'm talking about a train that doesn't exist at the moment. Then we can build this track up to here with no problem. And then eventually, because we've got two tunnels here, what I'll do then is set these lines up so that the passenger train can come up here so that we can open up the iron mine. And then we'll use this to construct the tunnels through here. That's the idea anyway. I think that is about most of what I got to do. What we're going to do now is come to here. I want to check, make sure these guys have got the jobs they've got. Yep, so they're working hard. And what I need to do now is actually set up an oil train to come down to here and deliver fuel, and well, deliver fuel to here and pick up oil from here, because you can see we've got 764 tons of oil in there. So we're actually going to spend some money on trains at the moment. And we're going to come in here. 100 kilometers an hour, 160 kilometers, 120. What's the max speed for my electrified track? 150. Oh, look at that, see? Signals are working. I'm really blown away with that. 110, 120, 180. That's 1.9 million. And 184 there. Then again, do I really need a super fast train? I mean, it is quite long, but at the same time, it's going to be sat at the terminals most of the time unloading. I think we're going to go with the cheapskate train here. Oops. And what we're going to do is buy cargo wagons. I don't want this to be particularly that big. I mean, we could get the really big tankers here, but I can't see the point, to be honest. I think we'll go 1, 2, so that's going to be 120. I think if we go 4 of these, or 5, I think the guy up here, oh, he's gone. I think he's got 5 tankers, which we set a fire. I think we go 5 tankers then. And then what we're going to have to do is come here. Of course, what we're going to have to do is go all the way over to here. To actually, because we've got to go to this station first in order to, otherwise we won't be able to get to the other terminal. So what we're going to do is come to here. And you're actually going to load oil and unload fuel, and then up here you're going to unload oil and load fuel. That's the right way around, isn't it? So you're going to come down here and load oil and all that. And so you're going to load oil and unload fuel. You're going to, I don't want maximum amount of fuel, so you're going to load about 25% fuel, and you're going to wait here until unloaded. Okay, just make sure that I've got that right. So we're just going to follow the train. And you see the train moves pretty quickly, considering. Just going to follow him down the line. Watch all the signals changing. Oops, cut across the construction train there. So he's now going to load up some oil. Wow, he's loading that up really quickly. Let's turn around so you can follow him back. So we're just going to run all the way back to the oil terminal now. So here we are, we're just coming into the oil terminal, and what I want to do now is just make sure he sits here. Because of course one of the problems we're going to have now is we've got this train unloading oil and this train unloading oil. So he may sit here for quite a while, because they're both pushing oil into this tank here, which you can see is completely full at the moment. Yeah, so it looks like we've got any workers in here. We don't really have that many workers in here. Really going to need to improve the number of workers here. Hopefully as this population grows we'll do it here. Actually we've got a bit of an issue with steel here as well. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the number of workers here as well. And quite a lot of fires, which is a little bit of a cause for concern. But we're okay. Make sure. I'll have a quick look now. You can see the number of people enjoying culture is dropped in the city now. Have a look. Yeah, so we got, so fixing that radio station has actually changed that completely. Now the next thing I want to do is actually put a connection between here and here, so that we can get residents can travel between the two now. And what we're going to do is have passengers. I don't want workers, I want passengers here and here. the moment we don't have anyone in here. We want workers travelling here. And what I'd like to do is now is... where is it? We've got these little trams here. 251 passengers, 95 passengers. And what I'm thinking is we're going to buy one of these. And then what we're going to do is put one on there. I don't want workers travelling between the two. What I want to do is just give the residents over here the option to travel between the two settlements. So we're going to do, what we'll do is we'll both lead them on load and unload, and I think that will work. I think one tram running backwards and forwards will be probably quite adequate. There he goes. One thing I didn't check, what's his top speed? Will he interfere with the tram? Yeah, he may actually interfere with the main trains, but I don't think he'll interfere that much. I'm hoping that this will provide another service between the two areas. So, okay, we're going to jump on. Why is somebody here? Oh, nobody got on. What I'm hoping is that residents in this area, yeah, for that, wow. Hey, got lots of passengers, because of course they would come down to the bus station here, but what I really want over here is workers rather than the passengers. But we'll keep the bus service going between the two as well. Lost the tram. Where are you? All related vehicles, where are you? Yeah, he's not exactly winning any awards here at the moment for speed, is he? But it'll be okay. It'll run quite nicely. So we finally got to a point where I can now start to work on this area up here. Actually, we got a power, that tower being built. No, it's not. Well, that's a bit of a fail, isn't it? Okay, we'll just get that there. Why is this not being built? No steel. Steel's an issue. Let's check here. Got in here. We don't have steel in. We've got bricks and prefabs. This is a forward supply to this area. So steel is the issue. Now what I was doing off camera is I was looking at this area here, and I was thinking that in order to supply this city up here, we're going to need some food production. And once this town has finished its primary role of assisting with the construction, what we're going to need to do is have some food production. So what I'm thinking is to have put a food factory in about here. So we got fire. Where's that? Okay, he actually got in really quickly. Okay, thank you, game. So, where are we? Sometimes the map does this. It shoots you right up into the sky. So the idea is to have some food factory up here, which will supply food directly to this area here. And we could, I mean, that's going to come that way. I think if we put the food factory this way, I mean, I could put it, say, like that. I'm going to get it as close to the factory here. And then what we can do is put a silo in, say, about here. Tuck it into this corner here. And then what I want is another warehouse. Hopefully just tucked in here. Like this. Drop a warehouse in like that. While I'm thinking about it, what we're going to do is limit the amounts. We certainly we don't want crops in here. That can go. Don't want chemicals in here. Certainly don't want fabric. We don't want alcohol. We want clothes. We don't want. This is going to be purely to serve the shop here. Then we don't want plastics. And oops, I might going to keep the electronics, but we'll reduce that down. So what that should do is give us food, clothes. Don't want mechanical components. That can come. Put that down. I have 136 tons of clothes. Don't want that much in the way of clothes here, because actually I think to start with we can use this as an onward supply for this, and then what we'll do is we're up a road right directly across like that. Actually, what I wouldn't mind is a bus station here as well. Let's just put in a small. We'll put one of these in here, like that. You can come there. So what we'll have here. So what we'll have here is the auto detects on the case already. So what I have is a food factory here, supplying food to here, which we can use with the crops that have come up from there. And this silo will give us extra overflow here. And then we'll have this warehouse here. Once it's built, we'll store food as well, which we will then use to distribute to other parts of the city as it grows. What we're doing here, so we've now finished the distribution center. This needs to be assigned. I'm going to give this to the expansion road crew. What have you guys got? What are you working on at the moment? Source without boards. I thought I'd done all the sources. Where's the boards? Oh yeah. Okay. What we need to do now is get the distribution office working to here. Yeah, a bit of a fail there on my part. What we're going to need to do is get some. We need some. I think we'll start with some open holes. Okay, open hole. About. I think we'll start with 3. And your job is going to be to pick up boards from. Where is it? Where is it? Okay. To here. And we need prefabs up. That's the prefab factory here. And the brick factory. Probably could pick up bricks from here, although we've got piles of bricks over here. I think we'll go with this brick factory here. Or there. So your job is to pick up there. Just check this. Nope, that's that one. Okay, pick up bricks. It's this one, isn't it? It's the one that needs to unload prefabs, bricks, and boards. What do we need to do? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll start bringing all the bricks and boards up here. So there's going to be a little bit of a delay while this is actually picking up here. Where's your source? Bricks. I want to use you on this one as well. I know it's going to delay production. I wouldn't mind steel, but think at the moment steel could be an issue, so we're not gonna drain up more steel into this area. So we're gonna have to go all the way down to the steel yard to get the steel. But we've now started the harvest. Okay, so we need to get this built, and we've got nothing here. I think what we're going to do is we're going to use the expansion road crew over here. So what jobs have you got? Nothing. Get you working on that. The shop. Don't need the food factory at the moment. I'm just going to give you a whole series of jobs here. Get that built. I brought this up to here, didn't I? Bit of a fail here, actually. Sorry. There's my... just... You've got bricks and prefabs in here as well, so probably don't need this so much now. But we'll let it run at the moment. We'll give this distribution office a dual source at the moment, so that they can get it going. So we're now getting the prefabs and some boards appearing. What we just need now is some bricks. I think in the short term, what we can do is, I think I'm going to put some electronic components in here for the moment. And what we're going to do is give this guy a couple of covered holes. And what we're going to do is over here. You can pick up there and deliver to here. Oh, ha! Bit of a fail there because we haven't built the roads yet. Okay. Okay, let me just, to avoid confusion, just remove you for the moment. I was getting ahead of myself there. Get the expansion contractor on that and the Pristinia. Expansion contractor can give a little bit of support there. What have you got assigned to you? You've got the heating plant. I think we'll give you that. What we're going to do is put, these guys seem to be the conveyor specialists, so we've got that there. But the crops are flowing in. I just want to check to see how quickly these silos are filling up. They're filling up a lot quicker than, yeah, see. There's a very real possibility that we may run out of storage space here, which would be a little bit unfortunate. Here, expanding to the grain storage. Is the storage over here finished yet? Yes, it is. I think what we'll do is we'll add these guys to add you to this one. Can't assign any more buildings. Okay, so we've got a bit of a crop issue here. Let's check the farm here. What have we got here? We've got 2 trucks here. What field have you got here? This is small field 8. Trouble's going to be finding it. Medium field 6. Medium field, small field think what we'll do is we'll just drop one of the small fields, and then we'll add you to this. You can unload to here 90%. We add you here as well. You can unload 90% as well. I mean, these guys are doing nothing at the moment. I mean, can I add you to this one as well? Unload. And what you can do is start filling this one up. Hopefully that will work. I mean, I'll probably have to rebalance these over time. And what I'll do is get these guys working a bit more. Coming out here, getting the crops flowing. Let's have a look here. Let me see. This distribution office. 90%, 90%, 90%. Yes, thank you. How's the road crews working up here? Sources without steel. Where is your source? Yeah, we've definitely got a steel supply problem, and I think it is. Yeah, we're not getting the workers here. Because I can't really divert workers from here. We need more buses. We've got surplus workers here. We've got lots of people waiting to get jobs. I think what we're going to do is put another bus in here. I don't think I've got enough buses to get people up to this area here. What do we want? 45 passengers, 85 passengers, 135. I think if we pick up that one. Oops, no, I'm always doing that. What we're going to do is put you there. You can pick up workers and unload workers. We need a lot more staff into this area here. And what we got down here? We got some more workers here. I think a lot of these workers go up to the coal mine. Yeah, we're getting more workers starting to arrive in here now. But we need more work. Yep. Yeah, probably it wasn't. It was due to not having enough buses. All good stuff. All good stuff. We've got passengers here waiting, travelling backwards and forwards. I don't think. Let's just check my oil train and see how you're doing. Well, I'm assuming that this guy's actually dropping off enough oil here. Yeah, I think because this train is now off down to the station, so he's now dropping, but not really consuming that much oil. Then what's the? I mean, I think the problem is here with the fuel, because if this becomes completely full. Okay, let me just see. I think we're push that up to 50%. Problem with that is that if it comes down here and fills this tank up down here, then it won't pick up the oil as efficiently as it should do. Also, I mean, we're okay at the moment. How much oil we got in here? So we've still got a lot of oil in there, so we're not really bringing the oil up as fast as possible. got here. Let's see what's going on in this area. This guy's still... he may have run out of jobs because he's run all the way into the terminal. Let's have a look. See, he's down to one job. Oops, I put 2 there by accident. But it should be okay because the guy that's working on this job should concentrate on this job. He shouldn't actually divert away. Now, next thing I want to do is just take a look on what's going on down here. You allocated? Yeah, you're allocated. And you're nearly finished. Because what I'd like to get down here is a bulldozer and an excavator so that we can carry on working on this area. Actually, we need this built. Bit of a fail here. Sorry about this. We need this connection ready for when I've got... I can extend the ore train out here, although it's going to be a little while before that happens. Let's just go right to the other side of the map, and because I did have a train laying track out here. I've got no idea what he's doing. Doing nothing for all I know. Where are you? So I'm saying I want this connection so that we can actually export fuel and bitumen to NATO to make some dollars. Now the reason for that is that if you actually look at the date, I'm up in 1993. Now if I come here and I click on here, you will see that if I click into here, you see I can't buy any excavators anymore. If I want excavators now, I've got to buy them with dollars. And this is one of the curiosities of the game, is I don't think the original developers expected people to play up past 2000, but I'm already at 1993, and that's mainly due to the nature of this map slowing up development. Because just to give you an idea, is this is the first campaign where I've got this far into the game and I've only just brought on oil and iron. Normally I would have iron and oil running into the economy in the early 70s is probably the latest. Be up until 1993 and we still haven't got our own independent source of iron, and we've only just brought oil online. And the fact that we're up to 1993 means that increasingly a lot of vehicles are going to start to disappear as they age out. That gives me two options. I can buy from NATO, but the other option is that I just have to go in and enable the cheat mode to switch all the vehicles back on again. But I don't really want to resort to the cheat mode too early. So what I'm thinking is that we're going to try and see if we can keep going by importing vehicles from NATO. But then if it comes too desperate, then well, we'll just have to enable the cheat mode. So let's get up here. So it looks like we've got power here. We need to set that to gravel. We've got power here. So look at that. Gravel has just come online. Now, and of course, what's going to happen now, this is going to steal all the gravel from my store. But eventually that will fill up. Of course, what we can do now is open you up. Gravel, we can put you there. And more importantly as well, because you're going to be these guys as well. Because you're going to be working increasingly up in this area as well. You can pick up the gravel from there as well. That means they won't be running all the way back down to there to get gravel. It's all going to be delivered here. Okay, let me just see. So there's no connection there. I missed a connection. No, it's because this hasn't been built yet. And we're now moving into winter, so let's have a look and see how the storage situation is going. You're up to nearly full up. You're nearly full. You're nearly full. We've still got crops to come in from all rounds. And so it's going to be the same over here. So what's the storage here? So you're nearly full up. You're nearly full up. You are full. You're nearly full. You're nearly full, and we've still got lots of crops in the fields here. 81 tons there. So we got about 200 tons crops there. Okay, yeah. So we may get some losses even with this put in. Do you actually? So this is a bit inefficient because that is nearly full. We may have to put another distribution office up here to sort this out, but then over time this might smooth out as we consume more crops. What we could do is back this up. Where are you delivering to? Crops 40%. I can't increase that because I don't want to put 90% fabric in here, but what I could do is do that. Unload crops and we'll set that to 90%. What that should do is put a lot of crops into here. It should work. Let's just increase that a little bit. And then what we'll do is we'll store some extra crops in there. Right, so we got 500 and odd food there. What I should have done is built a bigger warehouse here. Just check the food situation. That's the theatre. Yeah, I mean, we're doing okay. And we sorted out the culture issue. How busy my... Yeah, I don't think there's many people going to Bridge City, but hopefully there's going to be more people coming from Bridge City. Yeah, I think there's some passengers there who want to travel backwards and forwards. It's not the most efficient way to travel, but all we want them to do is come here to visit the university and pick up their electronics. Although they're probably coming in by bus more than train. Wow, they certainly can they get from... No, they can't actually quite get to the store here, can they? Which could be a bit of a problem. But what I could do is... Electronics there. Who's delivering electronics here? Let's see. Who's buying electronics? You're not. You're buying electronics here. And you're distributing them to the shopping centre. So what we could do is add you. And we're about 50%, actually 90% electronics here. What we'll do is we'll get a lot more electronics into the city, and then actually we probably don't need 90%. What was that? Distribution office again. Yeah, maybe we'll drop you to say 60%. I mean, we got the money to buy the electronics, so there's no point worrying too much about it. And let's just have a check. We're now running into September, so it looks like we've got all the crops in from this area. So this area is completely harvested, and we've managed to get it all into these silos. We've got this one here. So this one's finished. This one is struggling a little bit. What we'll probably do now is take off. This is 5. Let's just remove you again. And actually what we could do is now hook chain. That's what I should do, is hook you to there and make you a pickup point. And what he will do now is distribute the crops to the various items over to here. How's the steel going now? Is that new bus having an effect? I'm still not getting as many workers in as I was hoping. Oh, looks like the bus is just coming in. If you're going to deliver some more workers. Yeah. Yeah, so we've got 2 buses working on here now. Oh, look at that. That's great. For some reason, yeah, it is a worker issue. It's causing the problem. Sure, yep, you're good. And what's the population now? So we're up to nearly what, 15,385. Most people are happy, and sport and culture is slowly building up a little bit. Just get up to here. Got this connected. We certainly need this built, so I think what we're going to do is allocate you to here as well, because we're in September and I really need this built so that we can have snowplows working this road here. I think what we will do is assign you to here. We can get this silo built for the next season. Oops, actually we need this built. Agent road crew can assist. Get this built, get these connected. Of course, one thing we're going to need to do is work on heating. I'm half thinking about a road up to here to provide another way in. Just see. We put a road through, say about here, across, maybe pushing all the way up through there, and then maybe we'd have to put get that there. Check the wireframe. That's a little bit icky. So again, see here, last chance to buy. We're running out of trucks and vehicles. I'm a little bit worried about, although this has got a slope anyway. And then eventually, actually, we could split this road as well. If this will. Okay, we're going to need to train a little bit here. The trouble is, it's going to make that difficult. Put a little bit of a dog leg in there. And then once this road is built, what we will do is, oops, thank you game. So once this road is built, what we'll do then is we'll probably have the heat distribution up here. So we're going to need to get heat into the city from this coal, from the heating plant here. But that's built there. And of course, another task for these guys will be to bring coal up here to keep the heating plant going. So that's working good. I'm aware that I'm starting to come to the end of this video, so I think what we're going to do is just have a quick run round and check progress. So we've now got a connection to the border. This guy's running through in this section. So hopefully we'll get that finished in the next part, and then we can start exporting a little bit of bitumen and fuel to the NATO borders. Not that I want to export that much, although truthfully before I can get that working we're gonna have to build out here. We got a crossover here. No, we don't have a crossover here. I'm just going to drop that in. Just put a crossover there. So we're going to need to build out to here so that we can start to build these rail lines in. Now, have we got all the crops in? No, we've still got surpluses out here that need to be picked up. And we're still picking them up, but we are going to have some crop losses because our silos are absolutely full. Just imagine what it would be like if I hadn't built this extra silo that's got another 700 tons in it. And effectively these guys can't unload at the moment. See, they're just running backwards and forwards with full loads of trucks. I will hit 5, unload. See if we can force it a little bit. I doubt it. The trouble is, these won't go to 100%. Yeah, 720. See, they go to 722. Just wish there was a way you could set these to go to 100%. Actually, we got here's 650. What we're gonna do is, really grates me that, okay, we're gonna change that. I add, probably won't be able to add one of these. No, building already assigned. What we could do is, one's this one, Omolokov grain storage. See if that will. These guys will pull crops out of here and ship it back over to here. Not exactly what I was planning on doing, but what they will do is take the crops away, and that will allow me to pull this out from there. Although technically once I've got the silo running up there, we could send crops up to that one up there as well, and we can use that as a store while we're actually doing it. This one's got 570 in. Let me see. Actually, let me just see something. Where is it? Unload small farm, 69%. I think you can now keep this at 90%. So that's done. We've got, just check the, yeah, we've got loads of clothes here, and I think we got clothes here. We don't have quite so much clothes here, but things are looking good. And yeah, it looks like the steel mill is producing a little bit more, but I think the demand is just so much on this area here. Just run down here and see what's the fuel situation here. Yeah, it's building up a little bit quicker than I was hoping it would. So we may have to do something about that. And then a final check over here. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have allocated 2 jobs to this. So I was just going to cancel 1. That should do is clear these trains. Okay, they're still clogged up. Yeah. I think probably what's happened is this is finished and this isn't allocated, so what we need to do is allocate this. So what happened here was this job finished, and of course it didn't allocate that job, and then what it did is it came up here and they were both trying to work in this area here. So hopefully they will sort themselves out now. You're on that truck job there now, and what we can do is allocate you. You're on that one, and what we should now is get the other train should come out and finish these jobs here. And that's all the joys and pleasures of having to manage railway construction teams. And it looks like we've finished the construction yard out here. And just to show you the problem that I've got is we can get, where is it? We can get a couple of bulldozers. But you see now excavators are not listed as being able to be purchased by rubles. But we can produce them, purchase them using dollars. So that's something that I need to consider going forward. As I say, I can very easily fix this by actually enabling the cheat mode. So if I go CHE, and then we come into here, and if I say make all vehicles available, what I can do now is just come in here. And you will see that we've now got the excavators, and I could buy a couple of excavators this way. In fact, I probably will. So that's 11 tons. That's 8 tons. And what's the speed on them? Maximum speed 18, 18. They're all the same. So I'm just going to get a couple of excavators in there. Come to here. That off. And back. Switch the cheat mode off. I mean, that's a way I could do it if I run into problems. Just enable the cheat mode long enough to buy the vehicles that I actually need. Just seems a bit odd that this game doesn't have a selection of vehicles that run to effectively what you could say present. In fact, if I show you, let's go back to over here. We go to, where's that big purchase platform? There it is in here. If we go there, if you look at certain vehicles, I think it's, no, so you see here, 1996, I won't be able to buy cement trucks. And the same with in 2000. Oh, we got fire. What's that? Oh, come on, fire crews. Can't afford to lose my aggregate storage. One fire engine isn't enough. We've got 2 on site now. That should be able to deal with it. So back to what I was talking about. But if you see here with the tower cranes, they say from 1950 to present. And I can't understand why there isn't that option available for at least some of the later vehicles. That they're like this one here. We'll be able to buy tractors, because of course Belarus is a major production center for tractors in the Eastern Europe. And I just don't understand why that option isn't available for all the later vehicles, that they go forward far enough so that you don't have to worry about running out the date. Anyway, that whinge over. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.